What is up, everybody? Jeff Zimfer, host of the Mortgage Marketing Radio podcast. Welcome to another episode of, we'll call this Tuesday Tips, Tuesday Live Tips. So the goal is to, every Tuesday, ideally, bring you something good, something great, live tips to help you succeed as a mortgage loan originator. And I'm carrying on the conversation that we started last week, which is all about you attracting, capturing, and converting real estate agents to referral partners. And I'm leading with this theme of teaching agent classes. And why teaching agent classes is the number one way for you to quickly grow and scale your agent relationships and referrals. So if you're watching live or on the replay, just give me a shout out right now. I'm going to check my mobile phone here and follow along with you guys to make sure I'm not missing any of your comments and stuff like that and feedback. So let me just open this up here and play the Facebook Live game, shall we? All right. So if you're here, let me know you're here. That way I can say hi to you and give you a quick little shout out. Okay, so carrying the conversation. And by the way, no disrespect, I may occasionally look at my phone here just to make sure I am following along with everybody. Let's see here. There's so many moving buttons. What's up, Samantha? How you doing? And Doll, hey, glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Okay, so if you remember last time, I don't know if you saw the replay from last time, but look at what we're talking about is teaching agent classes. I've been helping loan officers. What's up, Carmela? I've been helping loan officers do this for over 10 years. As you may or may not know, on the podcast, Mortgage Marketing Radio, I've had the good fortune of interviewing well over 100 of America's top producing, highly productive mortgage originators. And there's one common, well, not one, but there's several common themes that I've seen in interviewing these top producers. One of them is, by and large, I would say 95% of the time, they're involved in doing some type of events or classes for real estate agents specifically. So on the previous live, what we talked about last week or last time, whenever it was number one, understanding the mindset of real estate agents. For instance, how many of you have ever heard this response when you call upon an agent, right? Hey, I'm a listing agent. I already have a lender. I'm sleeping with my lender, right? All kinds of responses and excuses. Anybody ever heard those? What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? And as I said before on the last episode of this, is the reason why agents respond like that is the same reason why you respond to the retail person when you're in a retail store and somebody says, "Can I help you?" What's your typical response? No thanks, I'm just looking, right? And the reason why that happens, there's a dynamic, right? You're not ready to engage yet, right? Maybe you are just looking. You're not ready to engage in a conversation. There's no rapport built. There's no trust. And you think about it, if you're cold calling with realtors and all that kind of stuff, and I know some people preach that, and does it work? Sure. Does it work as effectively as other means? No. But agents respond for those reasons, with those excuses, for three reasons. They don't know you, don't like you, can't like you yet because they don't know you. They don't trust you, right? And you sound like every other loan officer in town. So let's fast forward then to the other thing I talked about on the last video, the Facebook Live, was the traditional sales model is broken, right? The old, kind of interruption marketing, those days are quickly dying, right? The interruption economy is gone. The consumers are in control. We choose when we want to engage in the buyer journey, if you will, and that is largely today. How do we do that? We do that by various forms of engagement, both online and offline, but with no prior engagement, right? There's no basis to evaluate you when you are, let's say, cold calling or interrupting or whatever. So you're immediately put in the box of every other loan officer who's recently done that, and you are working on an uphill battle. Unless you're really, really good at scripting and calling and demonstrating very quickly your value prop, your visible value. If you're good at that, well, then you're probably good at converting. What I find is most loan originators their muscles aren't that strong, aren't built quite like that yet. Okay, and so then the other thing we talked about is the modern referral process, right? That's how people engage today, right? Social networks, educate, engage, and things like that, so that you have now warmer calls. Let me get to the chase here. The real question is, how do you add value to real estate agents? How do you add value to real estate agents, right? Simply put, you start with a genuine interest in understanding the business-related issues they're struggling with and seek to provide helpful content, ideas, and solutions. Essentially, teaching agents to fish, right? They are looking for information to survive and thrive in the challenging market we've entered in. So the question is, when I see loan officers consistently over 10 years now, hundreds and hundreds of loan officers I've worked with, they struggle. How many of you struggle to attract and capture real estate agents and build some real consistency in your referrals, in your success with real estate agents? Anybody here watching? Huh? Chris, Carmela, Samantha, anybody else? Right? The struggle is real, people. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and put in the struggle is real. That's how I know you're watching on the replay. Okay. So look at here's the key. No matter what, when it comes to marketing, right? It's attract, engage, and convert, right? And the traditional broken sales model of cold calling and all that kind of stuff, right, is not that model, right? You're not attracting, you're not engaging. Therefore, you're struggling to convert. And there's a quote here on my reading on my screen that 94% of all failure is a result of the system, not people. That's a quote by W. Edwards Deming. Look him up on Google. He's known as the grandfather, if you will, of the modern quality movement, and was all about process efficiency. He brought process efficiency way back in the day to the Japanese automakers to compete against the U.S. automakers before the Japanese automakers became a huge superpower. Anyway, his point is valid and true today. 94% of all failure is a result of the system, not the people. And I think about that in a book I've been listening to lately called Atomic Habits. Anybody listened to or read Atomic Habits? I suggest you do. It also coincides with the most recent podcast I just released last week, which is Jim Fortin, which is The Power of Identity, right? The real secret to achieving your goals. So if you haven't checked that out, go over to mortgagemarketingradio.com, check out that episode. I believe it's 106, Jim Fortin. Awesome content in there. But anyway, what he talks about, what Atomic Habits talks about is, look at, everybody sets goals, but few people achieve their goals. And the reason is it's not because they didn't really want the goal. It's not because their why isn't big enough. It's usually because the habits and systems that they have in place haven't supported them to get to that goal. So it's really the habits and systems you have in place that are going to have the biggest impact on whether or not you achieve your goals. How does this all relate to you succeeding with real estate agents? I'm glad you asked. Okay, here's how it relates. I opened up by saying, asking the question, why teaching agent classes is the number one way to quickly and easily capture and convert more realtors to referral partners. The reason is three things real quickly. Number one, positioning. Okay, it positions you completely different than all the other approaches they've heard and seen in the past. Even though teaching agent classes isn't necessarily new, it's not brand new under the sun, it's not sexy, and it's not a bright, shiny object, still so few people are doing it right, doing it consistently, presenting the right types of classes, right? It's still a unique position in the marketplace when done correctly and when done repeatedly. The other reason is that it puts you in the power position, right, of positioning. You're now in the power position. Things have been flipped, okay? You're not now chasing or pursuing agents. They're coming to you, okay? And you establish immediate authority. You stand out from the noise, and you're instantly perceived as unique and successful. You're not asking for loans. You're being a go-giver. So number one is positioning. That's why agent classes rock. Number two, you scale your reach. Okay? Much like you want to scale your message, you want to reach more people in less time. Let's see if I can get this to work. You want to reach more people? Is this loud enough? You want to reach more people? It's got to be in the on position. You want to reach more people? Maybe the batteries are dead. Hey, you want to reach more people? Check, 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 check. We're having some fun on Facebook Live today. You want to reach more people? You want to learn how to use a megaphone. All right, David Welch, what's up? Define agent classes real quick. I think I missed it. Agent classes my definition of agent class is, you stand up in front of a room and you teach a class to real estate agents. Now, let me clarify real quickly, David. Good question. A lot of people would think that's like FHA, Financing 101, USDA. Are those agent classes? Sure. They're not the type of classes I prefer to do because any loan officer can do those classes. And my experience is that doesn't get the biggest attention, doesn't draw out the agents you really want to work with. So what I find what works better is, I said earlier, teaching agents to fish. Think about this, David. What are the areas that you struggle and want to learn as a loan officer to succeed in today's modern market, right? You want to learn what? Social media, Facebook, digital marketing, video marketing, millennial marketing, right? How to attract, engage, personal branding. Those are the same issues that real estate agents struggle with. So it's our job to learn those things so we can survive and thrive as originators. But also, when you now teach agents to fish and teach them how to do that, man, powerful things happen. Reciprocation happens. They're attracted to want to work with you because you've poured into them and added value to their business. Hopefully that helps answer the question. And if anybody you're watching, like Chris and others that have already done agent classes, feel free to chime in and let me know your thoughts, what your results have been so far. As a matter of fact, I posted in the last live, we had a comment from, I'll see if I can pull it up right here, from one of our our members that teaches these in classes, and he just did one. I'll bring it up for you real quick right here. His name is, hold on a second here. Bear with me. Put in your questions, guys. I will take them. Here we go. Let me cut to the chase and get right here, right now. I want to make sure you hear this story, because don't believe me. Believe what some of these other people are saying in terms of how fast they're able to, capture, attract, and convert realtors to referral partners. I am scrolling to get to his. Okay, here we go. Here's Ben Barrett. Ben is where is he out of? Denver, I think. Not sure. Anyway, Ben just posted this on in our private members page the other day on February 7th. He did a class. This might be for you, David. Thanks. I'm glad that helps for you. He did a class called Disrupt or Die. 48 agents attended his class. I rarely hear of 48 agents coming out to hear about FHA, USDA, zero down home loan programs and stuff. I mean, it happens, but I don't think it happens as often as, and it's not that attractive, right? And that's one of the secrets to branding and marketing, right? Is you want to become attractive. You want to stand out from the noise. So anyway, back to Ben. He said that in his class, one of the top 10 agents in the city took action and ordered Amazon Echo Dots during his presentation. The reason why is because in that presentation, a little insider secret here, we're actually talking about the Amazon Echo Dot and how the future of voice is search and things like that. So total sidebar there. But furthermore, he went on to say 2 local real estate offices called him shortly after to ask that he present this for their entire office. He received a loan application from one of the attending agents whose buyer was already pre-qualified with a competing lender. Oh my God. Wow. Folks, that's the power of teaching agent classes, when you deliver compelling content that makes a difference and makes an impact on them in their business. Now, you may be wondering, well, how do I get started? Where do I learn more about teaching agent classes? Good question. We've set that up for you. You want to learn more? Go check out our website, mortgagemarketing.pro. It's 10 years of the best that I got to help loan officers like you quantum leap their results with real estate agents, following a proven system and plan to teach compelling kick-ass classes that get butts in the seats and loans in your pipeline, and you don't have to be an expert on the topic, okay? So that's my little shameless plug there. All right, let me get back to sharing with you more of why teaching agent classes rock. I talked about positioning, scale your reach, right? We did the epic fail on the megaphone here. And then, of course, here's the key thing, guys. Online is awesome. It's great. You integrate online with your agent class promotion and engagement and follow-up strategy. But here's the thing. You need to take the online offline. Let me say it again. You need to take the online offline, because business with real estate agents still today is toe-to-toe, face-to-face. And when you're in person, how many of you know this already? When you meet somebody in person, how much more quickly does that accelerate the know, like, and trust factor, right? It's a lot slower, harder to get to really know somebody and trust somebody, get a sense of who they are, right? Until you meet them in person. So social media, online marketing, it's an important part of the whole process, but it will never, ever, ever replace the impact of meeting people face to face. And depending on some of the research you read, you could argue that people are hungry for the personal connection. Okay? I'm not going to get into debate about that right now, but people are hungry for the personal connection. And that is the core of how these relationships are done and built. What's up, Samantha? You got a question? Or are you just raising your hand and waving? I can see you there. So Carmela, you asked a question. How did he get that many to attend? I send invites, provide food, etc. Get the same. Well, Carmela, what classes are you presenting? That's question one. And then question two, I'd want to know more about your promotion strategies. And that's, by the way, one of the things we help our clients to do inside the mortgagemarketing.pro membership. You're agreeing. Okay, thanks, Samantha. Appreciate that. So Carmela, I'll look for your response in just a minute. But a key factor to, how many butts you have in seats is how intelligently you approach, and what I call is a shock and awe approach. I talk about partnering with affiliates like Title, Escrow, Home Warranty, create an event on Facebook, boost that event, target agents, tag agents, create a custom audience and send a video to those agents, send a text video invite to agents, or a Facebook Messenger video invite to agents. We give you custom flyers that you get out and about and hit the streets, drop them off at broker preview, open houses, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that helps explain a little bit behind the scenes of the promotion strategy on that, Carmela. But feel free to add your comments on that. Okay. So, and it's funny, I've done some research on this. 4 out of the 6 of the most important attributes of building a relationship cannot be achieved without the power of in-person, okay? Which requires a rich communication environment. So what is that? Engagement and focus on shared content, facial expressions, words someone's using, subconscious body language, right? Conscious movements and gestures, just reading the research right here. 81% tone of voice, okay? So those are key to successful communications, and 4 out of 6 of those cannot happen really without being in person. You could argue some of it can happen on video, but again, right? You're never going to replace face-to-face. All right, Carmela, social media fix-it loans. So that's a rehab 203K loan, I assume. So really to do I'll tell you what, Carmela, if you want to upload, attach, private message me, whatever, a sample of the marketing materials you use, the flyer, the title, and things like that, I'm happy to look at that and help give you any guidance I can on that, absolutely free, just because I think one of the other things I see where sometimes it falls off the map for people is the flyer, the copy, the title of the class itself. Okay, I look at it this way, that the flyer, the marketing flyer, if I'm going to use a flyer, the event, the title is like the title of an ad. And what's the purpose of the headline of an ad? To get you to read the ad, right? To capture your attention. And so I look at the title of the class, like look at the class I just told you about, Disrupt or Die, Surviving the Digital Real Estate Shift. I mean, does that not capture the attention of real estate agents, right? I mean, others I could tell you that we have, such as like getting started with video marketing, 15 videos every real estate agent should consider using. Millennial marketing, right? How to capture the largest segment of home buyers, et cetera, right? So titles are really key to that. Yeah, you bet, Carmela. Happy to help with that. And anybody else watching as well, happy to help also. So I only have about 2 minutes left, and I got to go to jump on a coaching call. But just wanted to kind of continue this dialogue going with you guys. Tuesday tips. So some of these will be agent tips. Other tips will be like social media, modern marketing. Which, by the way, if you're looking, is anybody here looking for help in becoming a modern originator? Looking for help with more success on social media, video marketing? Facebook ads, things like that. If you want to check more of that out, we of course include that for our pro members in the mortgagemarketing.pro membership. There you go. That's called a not so subtle offer, call to action, mortgagemarketing.pro. So should you be so inclined to check out more, go over there and do so, and you'll read some of the success stories we've got over there. All right. And Samantha, you say me too. So, hey, you guys know how to hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger right now. Let me know how I can help you, and we'll start a dialogue. And by the way, if you're watching this on my Mortgage Marketing Institute page on Facebook, there are some free resources provided for you. As a matter of fact, there's a free video series all about teaching agent classes that you get to watch for free. No opt-in, no nothing. And there's some downloads. There's the ultimate guide to teaching agent classes. There's a link to my podcast. So feel free to check more out here on the page at Mortgage Marketing Institute. And with that said, I'm going to have to sign off, guys, because it is time for me to jump on my coaching call. Hope you appreciate watching this, and we'll see you on the next one, okay? Ciao.